Hi, hello. It's Mallory from Sugar Pop Fizz, and we are planning the week of February 21st through the 27th in my TPC Nation planner using the cherry kit from the shop and a bunch of cherry doodles that I drew myself. We also have a bunch of washi from my shop. I'm looking at my spread as I'm doing the voiceover, and yeah, all of the washi in the spread is from my shop. Super excited about that. That doesn't usually happen because I have a lot of personal washi that I buy from other places. But yeah, that's so all the washi and the doodles are from my shop. There are a couple of other little like scripts that are from Made with Southern Love, but you'll see him. You'll see him. You'll see him when we get there. So this week was actually our first, what's it called? Same but different week in our Facebook group, where the PR team voted and they decided that we would do the last week of February, and that we would do this cherry kit, kind of like a Valentine's Day spread, but it doesn't have to be entirely Valentine's Day. Yeah, and then since this was the first week, my PR team decided, and then going forward, they put up a what is it called? One of the polls in the Facebook group for everyone to vote and to decide. And so I think right now we already have, as I'm like recording this voiceover, we already have like up to April decided, which I think is great. It's super fun. I like seeing everyone's different spreads and how they use the different kits, even if it's like the same, like let's say they're using the same like standard vertical kit. It's interesting to see how people lay the same kit down differently and how they utilize the same stickers but differently. I don't know. Is that shop owner nerd? I don't know, maybe. I just think it's like really interesting. So this week, I don't think a lot happened. Oh, I'm dumb. I went and visited my family on the week. I think I'm just used to saying that nothing happens because that's what I'm used to, as we all are, most of us anyway. But yeah. So on Monday, we went to Costco. We hadn't gone to Costco in like forever. I hate going to Costco. Really hate going to Costco. There's just too many people. And even though it's a pandemic or, especially during the height of it or whatever, even now, people don't understand personal space. And it really, really bothers me. I like to have like a bubble of personal space around me. And people just like don't understand that. And you think that they would, with everything that's happened and going on. But nope. Just at Costco, everything's up for the air. It's the Wild Wild West there. But the only redeeming quality when we go to Costco is that I get to get pizza and like a strawberry ice cream sundae. Those are like the only things that make me brave the shenanigans to go and go and buy food from there. Also, I always try and convince my husband to buy something else. Like there was this big pack of zebra highlighters, like the mild liners, and he told me I had enough and that I probably have all these colors. But joke's on him, he is out of town right now as I'm doing this voiceover, and I'm going to Costco by myself. So guess who's actually going to get them? Me. Let's see. Tuesday, we had a $2 Tuesday. I do not remember the theme of that $2 Tuesday. Who knows? I don't want to say the wrong thing because I do have the themes planned in advance. I don't want to say one that's not been released. You know what I mean? I can't remember off the top of my head. And then we actually went to a funeral for one of my husband's family's friends' mothers. Super sweet lady. She was like born in Italy, moved over here. Super nice. Super, super nice. It was really sad at the end, but that's how it goes sometimes when you're like literally like 90 something. She lived a really long life, and now she gets to be with her husband, so it's all good in the end. So we did that on Tuesday, and then we had to get back home because my husband actually had to be in a meeting and all that. And then on Wednesday, I did, shop stuff. I did some TPC stuffs, meaning like freebies and prep and kind of like creating like a timeline and all that jazz. And well, yeah, I'll talk about that in the next one, more in detail about TPC during that week. And then on Wednesday, I met up with Lindsay and her baby Lydia, and we had lunch and hung out and just chatted. We had tacos for dinner. Been trying to listen to this audiobook for book club. I remember this book. I didn't finish it. I just like couldn't finish it. I was like really trying to like muscle through it. And I just like couldn't do it. And then like the book chat came and I just like didn't even want to talk about it. Like it wasn't even that it wasn't like a good book. It just was like frustrating, the book. And I knew that we weren't going to talk about the topics that I would really want to talk about in the chat, because we kind of keep the chat a little lighter. So I just like didn't even want to like participate. I don't know if that sounds weird. I didn't like the book, but there were parts that you could take away from the book. I just knew we weren't going to talk about it, so I just like didn't do it. I don't know. It's probably don't even need to know that, but that's what happened. Sometimes I just like, you just got to decide no. Do you know what I mean? You just got to decide no, I'm just like not going to do it. And then on Thursday, I did some designing for new releases. I actually made tres leche for my father-in-law, because when I saw him on Tuesday at the funeral, he seemed kind of down still from his mother's passing this past January. I mean, which is understandable, you know what I mean? Like, you're not going to get over it overnight, you know? So I was like, let me make him some cake. Cake cures a lot, you know what I mean? So I made tres leches, and if you don't know tres leches, you have to soak it with all the milk and stuff, and then you have to soak it overnight. So that's why I made it on Thursday. And then it looks like I just was working. I'm looking at my work planner too, just working, designing, and doing whatever. I actually work like a lot. So that's probably what I was doing for most of the day. We most likely watched The Sopranos, even though I don't put it down because it's not like a task. That's more like a memory planner spread thing, but that's what we still been doing it, watching The Sopranos. On Friday, did more designing. And yeah, that's probably all I did that day. I mean, I don't just only design. I'll probably be like slowly printing and cutting other things as it's happening. I like to like always be printing and cutting at least something, you know, like at least something to be, you know, to keep going on. And then we went to my in-laws for dinner on Friday. Their computer craps out on them, so we ended up, I don't think we bought it. I actually have no idea if we did or if we didn't. Yeah, I have no idea. I mean, could have. I don't know. My husband had it delivered to their house. So, but he had to set it up for them because they don't know how to do that. Because they're like 70, basically. So we set up the new computer for them, and that took a little bit because their hard drive had crashed. And so we were trying to pull whatever stuff we could off of that hard drive onto, you know, a different drive so we can put it on their computer, and that took like a whole thing. We got some stuff, but not everything, you know. I mean, like, my husband's not like a computer wizard, so it's not like they had super important things, just like some stuff for their business on there. And then we checked the P.O. box on the way home. I'm sure I've said this. All my Happy Mail gets delivered to my P.O. box. That's like my business address. So any returned orders gets delivered to my P.O. box. And then my husband's eBay stuff gets delivered to our P.O. box. It's just like easier. Yeah, because sometimes our mail person just likes to like throw the things on the front door or like put them in other people's mailboxes. And we've had, like, I ordered a silhouette machine, like a used one to kind of add to, this is like a while ago. And yeah, it got delivered to, I think it was like the house or two before ours, because it was marked as delivered, and you can see like the timestamp. and they quote unquote didn't get a delivery, so that's a thing. And then also like he obviously delivered it to the wrong thing, so it's like two different layers. Anyway, that was a while ago. I've since gotten like a different one, but yeah, I'm not a fan of my neighbors or my mail person most of the time. And then on Saturday, what did I do? Oh, I drove to Orlando. That's right. I drove to Orlando. If you didn't know, my family lives in Orlando. So I drove to Orlando and met up with my mom, and we actually went to a family member's funeral. It's not like a super close family member. It's not like my cousin or anything. It's like a little further out than that. But yeah, so we did that. I got to see my aunt and a couple other people at the funeral. I mean, super sad. Actually, like really sad because the woman passed away from COVID. And yeah, she was way too young to go. It's very sad, actually. I'm trying not to cry. But then after that, me and my mom, we just kind of caught up and went to dinner. Well, kind of like early lunch dinner, and we hung out. And then we went to her house, and I stayed the night, and I was like hanging out with my niece and my nephew. My nephew and niece spend a lot of time at my mom's house, so they were there. We actually watched Encanto that night. I have never seen it until that weekend. I mean, of course, I've heard the songs. I've seen the YouTube videos of the songs, and I was super excited to see it. Finally saw it Saturday night. Okay. Obsessed. I love it. Love it so much. But do you know what? I don't think enough people talk about how cute those little rats are in the movie. They are adorable, and I love them, and I need like little plushies or figures or something of them. I was like obsessed. I love them so much. No, I don't think enough people talk about how cute those little rats were. Loved Encanto, 10 out of 10, highly recommend. I mean, obviously, I think the whole world has basically seen it by now. So we did that, and then on Sunday, we went to the park. We celebrated my stepdad's birthday. We had some sandwiches. I think I got them from Firehouse. And then I just kind of drove home, but on the way home, I realized that I left my pillow at my mom's house. So after an hour of driving, I had to turn around and drive back to her house to pick it up. So that's a thing. I can't sleep without this pillow, basically. It's like one of those like memory foam pillows where it's like cooling on one side and then like normal. I literally cannot sleep without this pillow ever since I got it. So I drove back and got it, and then finally came home, and I did some laundry and did some planning, and then that's like basically the week. And then fast forward, this is how it turns out at the end. You can see like the two scripts, right, from Made with Sun and Love on Monday and Tuesday. I added a bunch more like little doodles and stuff from my shop and just kind of filled it out with more washi and more of those cherry dividers. I love how this turned out. So that's everything. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Leave me a little comment at the end. And if you're great, please subscribe. Bye.